Hello students. So today in this class we will be discussing interfacing stepper motor with 8051. But in this session mainly I'll be concentrating on what is stepper motor, its construction, applications and its working. So in the part 2 of this particular topic we will discuss in detail how to interface stepper motor with 8051. So we know that many industrial electrical motors are used with closed loop feedback control, say for achieving precise positioning or for speed control. Whereas the stepper motors are able to operate on open loop control system, which means that if you use stepper motor for your applications, you need to give only the digital value or the electrical pulses in order to have say linear motion or angular rotation out of the stepper motor. So uh, stepper motor mainly consists of a rotor. So the right hand side is the physical representation of a stepper motor, what you can see in lab, and left hand side you can see its cross section. So mainly it consists of rotor, also called shaft, okay, which is mainly generally of a permanent magnet type, and it is surrounded by uh, the stator on which there will be windings. Okay, so as we energize these windings, that when the current is applied to these windings, then, based on the basic magnetic theory, the the basic working of the working principle of the stepper motor lies, which means that the rotor which is free to rotate, okay. So when you energize the windings on the stator, the rotor will rotate itself in such a way that it, in order to get aligned with the windings or the coils on the stator, okay. So the repeatable fixed movement is possible as a result of basic magnetic theory, as I mentioned, where poles of the same polarity repel and opposite poles attract. Okay, so our rotor, which is a permanent magnet, and the windings, when they are energized, we know that there will be electromagnetic field or the force. So that based on the field, the opposite poles will attract, or the poles with same polarity repel. Okay, so the direction of the rotation is dictated by the stator poles, right? The stator poles are in fact determined by the current flowing through the windings. Okay, so when we change the direction of the current flowing through the windings, we can control the rotation of, or the direction of the rotation of the shaft or the rotor, right? So basically, so as we energize the windings, the rotor will be rotating. So here, as you observe, each coil is energized one at a time, and the rotor will rotate itself to get in alignment with uh, the stator. So the stepper motor, in fact, is a brushless electromagnetic device which converts the train of electric pulses applied to the excitation windings into precisely defined step-by-step mechanical shaft rotation. So this shaft of motor rotates through a fixed angle for each discrete pulse. Okay. So this rotation can be linear or angular, as I mentioned earlier. So it gets one step movement for a single pulse input. All right. So when a train of pulses are applied, the rotor gets turned through a certain angle. The angle through which the stepper motor's shaft turns for each pulse is referred to as the step angle of the stepper motor. So step angle is the minimum degree of rotation associated with single step, which means that, say for example, in order to have a complete one rotation or 360 degrees, say if you require 200 steps, then what would be the step angle? It would be 200 by 360. 360 by 200. So you will get 1.8. So 1.8 is the step angle where you need 200 steps to complete one revolution or one rotation. So steps per revolution is the total number of steps needed to rotate one complete rotation or 360 degree. So there are various step angles popular in the simple motors, like you can have 90-degree rotation or 45-degree rotation or 15-degree. So as I mentioned, the popular standard motor will have a step angle of 1.8 degrees with 200 steps per revolution. So this table shows the different step angle and steps per revolution. So smaller the step angle, you will have need more steps to complete one rotation or one revolution. So that is the main significance or the application of stepper motor. You can have the step angle as small as 0.72 and go up to say 90 degrees. Here the table shows of 15, you can go up to 90 degrees. So stepper motor is mainly used where you want to have a precise motion, precise movement. The movement can be linear or angular. All right. So that again depends on the construction of the stepper motor. So based on the construction, there are three different types of stepper motor. Variable reluctance stepper motor, permanent magnet stepper motor, hybrid stepper motor. So the popular or the common stepper motor has 4 stator windings, and this type of stepper motor is commonly referred to as uh, the 4-phase or unipolar stepper motor. So that is the permanent magnet stepper motor. So I've provided the link here. You can go to this link and learn more about construction and its working. So I'll just brief the different constructions here. So permanent magnet stepper motor. So it has a permanent magnet rotor which is driven by the stator windings. So they create opposite polarity poles compared to the poles of the rotor which propels the rotor. So as we observe here, when we energize each, so the variable reluctance stepper motor uses non-magnetized soft iron rotor. The rotor has teeth that are offset from the stator as shown here. And as we activate the windings in particular order, the rotor also moves respectively so that it has minimum gap between the stator and the rotor teeth. Next is the hybrid stepper motor. It is the combination of the previous two stepper motor. It has a permanent magnet tooth rotor and also a tooth stator. Okay. So the rotor has two sections as seen here in the right hand side, which are opposite in polarity and their teeth are offset. So you can observe here, there is no alignment in both the two different types of teeth on the rotor. So we can see that in such a way the rotor teeth are aligned with the teeth of poles A, okay, and unaligned with the teeth of poles B. Okay, that means that uh, in the next step, when we turn off the A poles and activate the B poles, the rotor will move counterclockwise and its teeth will align with the teeth of B poles. Observe the construction here. Now it is aligned with A. Okay. Once we de-energize poles A and energize B, the rotor will rotate, so that it will align with the B. Now the B poles are energized. I hope you have noticed. So here are the few advantages of stepper motor. We know that the rotation is proportional to the input pulse that is applied to stepper motor. Then we will have precise positioning, and mainly it is very it provides excellent response in starting, stopping, and reversing compared to other motors. And since it doesn't have any brushes as such, so there is the life of the motor is longer compared to other motors. And as we mentioned, the response mainly depends on the digital pulse that is applied to it. So it provides open loop control system. So the design or the control system of any application where you are using stepper motor would be simple and cheap, because it provides open loop control system, whereas in a closed loop you need to have feedback control system. And it is possible to achieve very low speed synchronous rotation. As I mentioned earlier, it provides very small step movement or rotation, which is very advantageous for different applications. And a wide range of rotational speed is also possible. So the applications are few listed here. Industrial machines, they are used in automotive gauges, machine tooling, automated production equipment. In security, it is used in mainly in medical equipments, where you should have a precise movement, rotation, position. Uh, Stepper motors are used, and in consumer electronics. So that's about the introduction of stepper motor. The interfacing part we'll discuss in the next session.